फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello and welcome to Cricket Next. मैं हूं सौम्य कपूर and we are few hours away from the fourth test between India and England जो होने जा रहा है रांची में। England have already announced their 11 और दो changes है उसमें। वो ऑली रॉबिन्सन को ले आए मार्क वुड की जगह and रिहान अहमद has been asked to sit out and शोएब बशीर will be taking his place while India की playing 11 टॉस पे ही डिसाइड होगी, but we are without the services of Jasprit Bumrah and KL Rahul who has been ruled out of this game as well due to injury. Well, to talk more about this, Ranchi's weather conditions, the pitch there, I have with me Sahil Malhotra from Ranchi, Jamie Alter and Tausis we join in this session. Good evening everyone. Sahil, I'll start with you. First things first, weather conditions कैसा है वहाँ पे? I heard you that was your tweet that it's grey clouds everywhere. What are the weather conditions right now?
I think it was very sunny to start the day with. It got off to a very sunny start, but it was still like the morning was pleasant as it was yesterday. But somewhere in the afternoon, around 3 o'clock, 3:15, it suddenly became very grey. The curators were comfortably sitting in the umbrella when few drops of rain actually kind of fell and they had to cover the entire square within minutes. They did remove the covers, but उसके बाद उन्होंने covers फिर लगा दिए क्योंकि फिर एकदम घने बादल ऊपर छा गए थे और the hide and seek between the clouds and the sun kind of continued for the next 1 hour, and it wasn't as hot as one expected it to be, especially in the afternoon. So very cool, and जितना वो क्रैक व्रैक की बात हो रही थी, पिच की बात हो रही थी, उसके लिए धूप चाहिए यार, और धूप मेरे को आज तो दिखी नहीं. Like for most of the day it remained grey, it remained cloudy, it was very windy. So not the ideal conditions where a pitch would break and become a raging turner in a couple of days, for sure. And it is, the forecast says that it is going to be cloudy for the next 2-3 days. थोड़ा बहुत हरकत करता रहेगा क्लाउड और सूरज आपस में. So let's see how it remains, because if it doesn't become that hot, then the true nature of this black soil surface could actually be, it could well be Rajkot, where the cracks remain as defined as they were and just don't open up.
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be windy. It's going to be grey, but we don't have Jasprit Bumrah for this game. Nice.
But England have James Anderson.
England have James Anderson and now also have Oli Robinson. And on that note, I'll welcome K. Srinivas Rao as well. Srini, what do you make of this weather conditions? Are we missing out on that trick of not having a Jasprit Bumrah in this condition? Are we missing out on? Lost. Yeah. Is this going to be a turning point for Indian team for not having Jasprit Bumrah in these conditions?
I don't. I'm at loss of words. I'm at absolute loss of words. What exactly is this kind of workload management that you have to rest your best bowler when you're getting into a game which could possibly kind of be the series deciding game? I really fail to understand this. अगर आपको इतना workload management, मतलब I was talking to Sahil today when he was at the ground and he had called me. One of the things we were discussing was, I don't know whether he's spoken about this here. One of the things we were discussing was what is the kind of workload that bowlers like Cummins and Mitchell Stark and Hazelwood, or for England James Anderson and Stuart Broad, have taken in the middle of these long fighters match series. I really want to understand that, because they've never missed a test match at home. So and by the way, I mean, we are talking about conditions where spinners don't really kind of play such a big role the way they play in India. So it's again a very pacer driven this thing. So I as I said, I'm at loss of words. There is no understanding. There is no explanation. It's that one simple line: workload management. Well, IPL में क्यों नहीं होता है workload management? आप IPL, you're playing for 2 months continuously. You're on the run. You're kind of either in the airport or in the hotel room or on the ground, playing a game. Why doesn't workload management come into picture there? This is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Yeah. Jamie, what are your thoughts? Workload management बता दिया, लेकिन हमने पहले भी डिस्कस करा यार, 80 ओवर डाले उन्होंने 3 मैच में, एंड कंडीशंस कहीं ना कहीं वो पेसर और मीडियम पेसर्स को फेवर करने वाली है. इंग्लैंड आर प्लेइंग अ 41-year-old जेम्स एंडरसन. आई मीन, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट इज दैट नाउ?
KRA wala workload management hai. I mean, Srini knows more than anybody on this show that the IPL and BCCI may be linked, but they're very, very different beasts. IPL has always superseded the BCCI. You know, we've discussed this. Mumbai Indians want a fresh Jasprit Bumrah. They'll get a fresh Jasprit Bumrah. You're putting aside your national duty to take a break. I mean, you've just had 9 days between test matches, right? You hardly bowl overs. I mean, what is 80.5 overs today? I mean, absolutely stark. Hazelwood, Cummins, they bowl 80, 90, 150, 160. Then they might take a brief break. But these guys, what the visuals of Pat Cummins touching down in Australia and taking his own cart, his own trolley, and being met by 10 journalists and 10 fans. यहाँ तो हमारे सुपरस्टार तो चार वो फैन बॉयज एंड पीआर वाले के साथ जाते हैं. I said this day for yesterday. It's become increasingly tough for me to defend the IPL when everyone and their uncle now will say the same thing. Oh, sir, IPL to no one takes a break. We have to address the elephant in the room. These are corporate employees. They are putting the corporate employee tag more than the country, right? I mean, this is the 5th day in a row we're now talking about the same blooming issue. It's not going to change, right? Because, and now I get it, like people tag me saying, sir, this is the first sign that test cricket is now dead, when Ishan Kishan and Shreyas Iyer don't want to play for Mumbai and Jharkhand, when Jasprit Bumrah chooses to skip a match. You know, normally I'd say, yeah, this is all BS, but it's become very, very tough to ignore these comments, because the perception that these superstars are giving to the common man is, हम IPL खेलेंगे, हम देश के लिए नहीं खेलेंगे. What was the need? 80.5 overs, do the math. That's 26 overs per test match, 13 overs per innings. Jasprit Bumrah cannot bowl 13 overs per innings. He needs a break. I call BS, boss, loud and clear.
Yeah, and this is when you have
I quickly
long break
want to add
two tests. Yeah, Shuni.
Quickly want to add a point here. You know, had India been busy playing an ODI series, a T20 bilateral, I wouldn't have cared. You know, had this been, you know, any random, you know, you also have a lot of rubbish random bilateral. You know, so if India were busy playing any of those kind, I really wouldn't have cared. Okay, fine, you take your break. This is as big as cricket gets. This is what cricket is all about right now. The series that's going on, you know. So if this is not of importance where cricket is concerned, then I'm not very sure what bit of cricket, when I say just the sport, is actually more important than this. As I've always said, IPL is not cricket. It's, you know, 50% everything else. It's business, jazz, politics, you know, glamour, movies, etc. But when you talk about cricket, this is cricket, and this is top level cricket. So if you're missing this, then I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'll quickly take a comment from Taus bhai. Taus bhai, this is when you don't have the services of someone like a Mohammad Shami. आपके bowling fast bowling unit के अंदर experience नहीं है. आप मुकेश कुमार पे भरोसा नहीं कर पा रहे. You just have Siraj who has looked good in bits and pieces.
रोको मत. पीछे डालो. नहीं तो जाने नहीं देंगे.
Akashdeep hasn't made his debut. I mean, still you're taking a break, and this is when you have just bowled 80-81 overs in the series in a span of 3 tests.
Absolutely. I mean, look at that. I mean, England was happy.
What actually
conditions, wicket is looking, you know, it's not looking that great when it comes to turning track. It's not going to be a turning track. And आप देख लो, अगर सी में जरा सा भी cloudy हो गया तो James Anderson will have fun over there. He's going to enjoy. Yeah. Oli Robinson को आप लेके आओगे तो he's going to have fun. I mean, तो आप सोचो कि आपके जो main bowler है, strike bowler, somebody who has made a huge difference to this series is not there, and you're depending on Mohammad Siraj, who is still clueless, who doesn't know how he got those 4 wickets, and then you have Mukesh Kumar completely. I mean, somebody who was gifting away those beautiful deliveries for boundaries and sixes. And now you depend on Akashdeep, somebody who is yet to make a debut. We are just depending. I mean, उसके pace की वजह से impress हो गए लोग. उसका strategy. I mean, obviously, I would prefer. Yesterday we have been talking about. I would prefer Akashdeep over Mukesh Kumar because he want to bring up a value. I mean, surprise value. That's it. और कुछ नहीं है. But then look at the whole ये, I mean, he missed Afghanistan series. Afghanistan South Africa series के बाद break था. तो अफगान जसप्रीत बुमराह did not. So he played last 3 games. और last 3 games में बीच में भी बड़ा gap था. So I don't know what these guys were planning. It's surprising unless they predicted यार यहाँ पर भी वैसी ही कंडीशंस होने वाले, धर्मशाला में भी वैसे ही होने वाले. तो आपको सिमिलर कंडीशंस होंगे अगर ऑलमोस्ट विकेट छोड़ दो मगर क्लाउडी होंगे, थोड़ा सीमर्स को हेल्प करेंगे, तो दोनों सेम है, तो एक काम करो रेस्ट कर दो. तो ये शायद उनका इंट्यूशन होगा बीसीसीआई का या सिलेक्टर्स का कि यार दोनों तरफ दोनों मैचेस में क्लाउडी होने वाले, फास्ट बॉलर्स हेल्प होने, तो एक में दे दो. या तो फिर ऐसा लोग गैम्बल ही कर रहे हैं कंप्लीटली जाके. तो रबिश, आई मीन हॉरिबल डिसीजन. आई एग्री विद ऑल 3 ऑफ देम राइट नाउ.
या मतलब इस मैच में 2-2 होने दो और उसके बाद वहां पे डिसाइडर खेलो धर्मशाला. वाह, अलग ही लॉजिक है. या साहिल.
No, before we kind of stretch this further, because we have been going on and on around Bumrah for the last 3-4 days now. No, I did that story today for Cricket Next and I put together some numbers. Those numbers were shocking. They were shocking because James Anderson has bowled more than Jasprit Bumrah in the last 2 tests. He's 41. He's turning up for a game where there was same amount of time for both Jasprit Bumrah and James Anderson. Now, the 10-day break which we are talking about, it wasn't a 10-day break. It was a 11.5-day break because India only bowled in the second session of day 2. He was chilling in the dressing room on day 1. इससे ज्यादा ब्रेक आपको नहीं मिलता. जसप्रीत बुमराह का जो सबसे बड़ा वर्कलोड आया था वो सेकंड टेस्ट में आया था वाइजैक के अंदर. आफ्टर दैट ही हैड 12-day break, approximately 12-day break. Are you telling me that is not enough? And if he is absolutely fine, which Vikram Rathore said at the pre-match press conference today, then he should have been with the team in Ranchi. कल नहीं आते, परसों नहीं आते, आज पहुंचे.
नहीं, I just want to understand this. ये decision किसका है? Okay, the player can't take up that onus and say, boss, I want to play. That's it.
No, if Jasprit Bumrah is absolutely fine, then he hasn't asked for rest. That is what I'm understanding. The management has advised him rest. That is what he said. That everyone was on the same page and advised that considering the workload he has had and the workload to follow, they've advised him rest. As simple as that. So इसके अंदर जसप्रीत बुमराह की कोई भूमिका नहीं दिख रही मुझे कि जसप्रीत बुमराह rest.
One thing is for sure. One thing is for sure. Decisions are definitely not coming on the basis of NCA's advice. Okay. I've clearly understood that. You see how, journalists, are becoming pawns here, planting stories because it keeps them, friendly with the cricketers, So look at the story around Shreyas Iyer, back spasm. I mean, what kind of nonsense that was. I read in the media that, he's got back spasms and that's why he's not going to be picked for the test squad, right? Now, okay, forget what I think and what I heard and forget everything that. Today, what is coming out? When he was asked to go and play Ranji, what is the NCA report saying? He's fit, right?
He's fit, yeah.
So why was he? So where did that story come out from? Back spasms. Where did it come out from? I can vouch for a fact that KL Rahul is definitely fit to play. What is 90% fit, by the way? It is like that video game jisme, you keep collecting power and that, that this thing keeps going up. 90%, 91%, 92%. So is it going like that? I don't understand. It's stupidity. And आपने वो round figure पे आके 90 पे खड़े हो गए आप. 91% नहीं है, 90 ही है. Which is, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So the narrative, I would like to believe, is not even being controlled by the BCCI anymore. That is the worrying bit. We are worried about, BCCI and how they operate and what their systems are like. But I'm worried to the other extreme that they are not even in control of this narrative. Players, jo marzi aaye, jaisi marzi aaye. Let me talk about, like, for example, franchises, KKR. I've spent more than 15 years, covering these people. Let's say a Mumbai Indians or let's say Chennai Super Kings, right? There is no way that Mr. N. Srinivasan at CSK or Mr. Shah Rukh Khan at KKR or anyone at Mumbai Indians, even Akash at Mumbai Indians, there is no way any of these men are ever going to say that your IPL priority comes ahead of your India priority. There is no chance. I mean, I have spent a long time with a lot of time with people like Mr. Srinivasan, and I know where they place, priorities where Indian cricket is concerned. They are very particular, especially this level of cricket, extremely particular. So I have no doubts in my mind. So obviously, this is not coming from the franchisees. There are other things at play here. You know, the player obviously wants to play the whole season because obviously your fees are based on a pro rata this thing based on your availability matters a lot, and then players are influenced by obviously they're surrounded by their managers, agents, everything. So it's like a mix of too many things, so you can't point a finger and say this is why this is happening or XYZ is the reason why this is happening. No, but the point to be noted and the important bit is whatever is happening is not healthy. It is extremely unhealthy, and it needs to be taken with utmost seriousness. Otherwise, mark my words, जो बचा कुचा bilateral है, it is gone, it is dead. If you're not taking care of this.
या बट जिम यहाँ पे एक चीज और है कि आपका जो बॉलिंग यूनिट है, अगेन आई एम कमिंग टू दैट, अगर उसमें से एक भी बॉलर फेल हुआ, आप लेके भी दो ही जाएंगे क्योंकि आपके पास ऑप्शन ही 3 है, उसमें से एक ने डेब्यू नहीं करा है, अगर उसमें से एक भी फेल हुआ विल बी एट सी. आई मीन विक्रम राठौड़ मेड इट क्लियर कि बॉस 90% कुछ नहीं होता, केएल राहुल इज ईदर अनफिट और फिट, सिंपल. वो अनफिट है इसलिए वो मेरे लिए बाहर है, बट बुमराह फिट है लेकिन वो फिर भी बाहर है. So I don't understand this. Are you seriously banking on just batting or what it is?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, we've been trying to wrap our heads around this decision. I mean, can you imagine any other bowler who has been the difference in the series? जो spinners, pacers, दोनों teams को मिलाकर सबसे बड़ा bowler इस series में है. Can you imagine some other series? I mean, I understand that England over the last 3-4 years in 4 test match series have rotated. जब Stuart Broad और James Anderson एक साथ थे तो उनको rotate करते थे. But this is not like that. I mean, can any other bowler, जब series live है, series खत्म नहीं हो चुका है, you have a series on the line technically. Which would Pat Cummins do this? Would Mitchell Starc do this? Would Josh Hazelwood do this? आप नाम ले लो, which bowler would do this? Again, I'm not saying that Jasprit Bumrah is at fault here, but जिसने भी ये decision लिया है, we discussed yesterday एक report है कि ये pre-decided था कि वो चौथे टेस्ट में जो भी, if such reports are even true, can you imagine the depth at which these people are thinking? It's like the series doesn't matter. 3-0, 0-3, 2-1, 1-2, चौथा टेस्ट मैच तो हम अपने वाइस कैप्टन को खिलाएंगे ही नहीं. ये कहाँ की सोच है भाई, ये कहाँ की सोच है? Can someone enlighten me? Unfortunately we'll never know. बुमराह कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे, मुंबई इंडियंस कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे और बीसीसीआई कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे. So we will be in the dark. And this is the 5th day in a row now where I've expressed this doubt. अगर जो भगवान ना करे ये टेस्ट मैच हार जाएंगे ना, रोहित और द्रविड़ को सीधा 5वें टेस्ट मैच से बाहर करना चाहिए. I hate to be the pessimist. दोनों को लात मार के बाहर कर दो. If India lose this test match, you had a bowler who's played the biggest hand in putting you up 2-1 and you've not played him. I hate to be that guy, always negative. But अगर खुदा ना खास्ता ये मैच हार गए ना, दोनों को पिछवाड़े में मार के निकाल दो. Don't even play the 5th test because you have jeopardized your nation's cricket hopes.
Yeah. Okay. ताउस भाई, if I am not mistaken, जब हमने लास्ट 3 मैचेस की जो स्क्वाड निकाला था उसमें बुमराह वाज देयर, राइट? ऐसा नहीं, कुछ मेंशन नहीं था उसमें. एंड इफ वी हैव टू अग्री टू द रिपोर्ट्स, या अगर हम उन रिपोर्ट्स को सही माने कि ये प्री डिसाइडेड था, व्हाट वाज द मैनेजमेंट एंड द बीसीसीआई डूइंग? फिर आपने निकाला क्यों? आप एक ही टेस्ट मैच का स्क्वाड निकाल के देते ना यार. व्हाट वर यू डूइंग? आई मीन, आई फेल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. व्हाट आर योर थॉट्स? व्हाट आर योर व्यूज ऑन दिस? आपने 3 टेस्ट मैच का स्क्वाड निकाला, फिर ये प्री डिसाइडेड भी था. अरे
that is the best part कि हमको गेस करने के लिए छोड़ देते थे. leave the cat among the pigeons. और मजा आता, pigeon among the cat. तो ये मजा आता है, मतलब कि यार आप स्पेकुलेट करते रहो, एंजॉय करते रहो, आप लोग को बहस करते रहो, मजा आएगा. आप बाकी हम खबर नहीं निकालेंगे बाहर से कि या हम डायरेक्ट प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं लेंगे. हम सरप्राइज, और सरप्राइज भी नहीं क्यों होना चाहिए यार, क्योंकि ये ऐसे, ये अभी तो नहीं हो रहा है, ये बहुत सालों से हो रहा है. श्रीनी भाई, जेमी भाई, साहिल नोज एग्जैक्टली कि how BCCI functions without clarity, without direct information, guess work चालू है, तो वही सब चालू है। सी देखिए, आपको फर्स्ट 2 टेस्ट पहले स्क्वाड अनाउंस किया, केएल राहुल का भी वैसे ही आप देखिए, पहले जब थर्ड टेस्ट अनाउंस किया, ओके 90% फिट, फिर उसके बाद ये इसमें ये मैच में यार फिट ही नहीं है, आप कितना गेस वर्क कराओगे? और ये अगर प्री प्लान था तो आपको इतना लाइटली ले रहे थे सीरीज इंग्लैंड का। आई मीन वो यू नॉट सीरियस अबाउट दिस सीरीज की भाई जसप्रीत बुमराह नहीं होने से कितना फर्क पड़ जाएगा, हाउ मच डिफरेंस गोना मेक टू द टीम। ही इज बीन ए सोल बॉलर, मैच विनर, सिर्फ बॉलर नहीं, मैच विनर ही। अगर वो नहीं होते तो आप वो सेकंड मैच जीतते भी नहीं, लेवल भी नहीं हो पाता। 2-1 तो दूर की बात है, 2-1 तक तो आती भी नहीं नौबत, आप 3-0 हो जाता, कॉन्फिडेंस उतना ही गिर जाता। तो अभी आप 2-1 लेने के बाद लीड सडनली यू डिसाइडेड कि ओके जाओ छोड़ दिया, आप रिलैक्स करो। हमारे पास बहुत डेफिनेट हमारे पास बहुत जबरदस्त बॉलर, अनलेस इनका ये माइंड में होगा कि भाई अश्विन इज अवेलेबल, रविंद्र जडेजा इज अवेलेबल फिट, कुलदीप यादव इज डूइंग वेल, एंड देन रांची का विकेट स्पिनर्स को असिस्ट करता है, तो मोहम्मद सिराज से काम चला लेंगे या आकाशदीप को कुछ ऐसा सरप्राइज एलिमेंट डाल लेंगे। अनलेस दैट मस्ट हैव बीन इन द माइंड कि भाई हमारे पास है प्लेयर्स अवेलेबल है, मैच विनर्स है, ये बंदे कर चुके, दे नो एग्जैक्टली व्हाट, कि आप जसप्रीत बुमराह को मिस नहीं करोगे। बट देन आप वो फैक्टर आप माइनस कर रहे हो ना भाई, somebody who came up, you know, मिरेकल हमेशा परफॉर्म कर सकते, डेली बेसिस पे कर सकते जसप्रीत बुमराह, ही इज दैट काइंड ऑफ अ बॉलर। वो लाइन मिस नहीं करते, हार्डली कुछ ऐसा करते कि यार मिस्टेक होगा। बट देन आई डोंट नो व्हाट लॉजिक दीस गाइज हैव, दे आर दे क्लूलेस और आर दे डूइंग इट फॉर पर्पस, और दे जस्ट एंजॉय यू नो बीइंग इन द लाइमलाइट ऑल द टाइम।
लाइमलाइट में रहना चाहते तो सही से डिस्कशन और डिसीजन बताते ना। लाइमलाइट में तो नहीं रहना चाहते, दैट इज फॉर श्योर। एंड आई
पब्लिसिटी, नेगेटिव पब्लिसिटी इज गुड पब्लिसिटी है।
लेकिन यहाँ तो वो भी नहीं हो रही ना, या तो मैच से एक दिन पहले हो रहा है सब, 2 दिन पहले। ओके, बट स्टिल कमिंग टू द यू नो पिच रिपोर्ट एंड टॉक अबाउट द पिच, क्या वो क्रैक्स हैं या वो क्रैक्स फेवर कर सकते हैं स्पिनर्स को? बिकॉज नाउ we are in a spot of bother right now, जो हमने करा है, ऊपर आसमान को देखें तो।
No, see, cracks are always there when it comes to pitches in India. There's no pitch which does not have a crack. We discussed it yesterday also. It's just about how they open up and how soft they become. And this pitch also has cracks, plenty of them. Even Rajkot pitch had cracks, but Rajkot cracks didn't open up. So if these cracks stay in place, the sun doesn't come beating down and doesn't really deteriorate the surface as everyone is expecting it to. So वो turn नहीं होगा ना. The wicket will play true. So you need to, it will turn. As Vikram Rathore said, as Ben Stokes said, you know, it will turn. But how much it will turn, when it will turn, these are the two big questions which we'll only get answers for when the game gets underway and depending on how much sun comes down. How much the pitch is roughed up, foot marks कितने generate होते हैं, बहुत सारे factors होते हैं for a pitch to break down during a test match. It did not happen in Rajkot. I think full marks to Rajkot curator. He laid out a beautiful surface, a perfect Indian pitch which could have lasted 5 days. बहुत अच्छा wicket था वो. What England did on day 4 in the final session, that was England's problem. That wasn't the pitch problem. So this pitch will have off a turn, but the last 2 tests played on this pitch, there were seamers who played a very important role, both in the test versus Australia and the test versus South Africa. The seamers played their part, and the seamers will play their part. That is why this management is looking very inclined towards the extra pace of Akashdeep now. Don't be surprised if he makes his debut tomorrow, because he was batting in the nets today. He did not bowl today, but there were signs कि वो आज batting करने आया. He did a lot of outfield practice, catching practice. So he's kind of putting in the hard yards, expecting a debut. He was crossing me. I just gently wished him luck. He thought कि उसका debut तो हो ही रहा है, तो उसने thank you बोल दिया मुझे. मैं तो उसको ऐसे ही बोला all the best for tomorrow. तो मतलब अब मैं क्या करूं, मतलब मैं तो थोड़े थोड़े साइंस पकड़ता हूँ ना. अब खड़े हैं वहां पे, धूप सेक रहे हैं, तो निकला प्लेयर, उसको ऑल द बेस्ट बोल दिया. उसने भी ऐसे शर्मा के थैंक एक्नॉलेज किया, तो मुझे लगा इस नजाकत के अंदर डेब्यू छुपा हुआ है कहीं पे. अब वो कल पता चलेगा क्या नहीं होगा.
इस नजाकत के अंदर, इस नजाकत के अंदर डेब्यू छुपा होना चाहिए, क्योंकि उस बेचारे को आपने सारा रणजी ट्रॉफी मिस करा दिया है और उसको लेके घूम रहे हो.
नहीं मतलब सी, अगर क्यू कल्चर फॉलो होगा और सीनियरिटी देखी जाएगी, मतलब कल जेमी भाई और मैं और ताउस बात कर भी रहे थे, अगर वो ब्रेंडन मक्कलम अप्रोच नहीं रहा तो मुकेश कुमार ही आएगा. थोड़ा डेयर डेविलरी दिखाया तो आकाशदीप आएगा.
लेकिन क्यू कल्चर कैसे फॉलो होगा ना? मुकेश कुमार को तो आपने उठा के बाहर कर दिया था ना एक मैच के लिए।
तो वो क्यू में था ना, उसको रणजी ट्रॉफी खेलने भेजा, वो 10 विकेट लेके आ गया वापस।
लेकिन बाहर क्यों निकल रहा साथ?
लेकिन मैं स्क्वाड पे आऊंगा ही नहीं, क्योंकि अगर वो आया तो फिर मेरा आवेश खान का रैंट दोबारा चालू हो जाएगा। If anyone has got a raw deal in this scheme of things, it is Avesh Khan. Pure and simple.
At least Mukesh got a game.
For me, he picked 5 wickets against South Africa. He picked 5 wickets there. He was drafted in the test squad in the series versus South Africa. By that logic, he should have been playing one of the 5 test matches. Simple. क्यों नहीं खिलाया, कौन नहीं खिलाया, जवाब तो हमें कोई देगा नहीं, पर हम मैसेज डालते रहेंगे।
Okay, मैं जेमी से एक लास्ट कमेंट लूंगा because he has to leave. जेमी, quickly.
अभी है 10 मिनट है।
Okay.
5 मिनट है।
Okay. Who will you play in these conditions? जिस तरीके conditions है।
Yeah, I would like we discussing last couple of days. I would really like to see Akashdeep play because I mean you rightly mentioned usko Ranji miss karaya, but if he's got extra pace, if there's something in his bowling, usko khila do yaar. Matlab I mean I think kal ke show mein the producer had the graphics up. Average अच्छी है, strike rate अच्छी है. I mean I'm not, again like I've said, मुकेश कुमार 3 मैच खेल चुके हैं अलग अलग कंडीशन में, एक वेस्ट इंडीज में, एक साउथ अफ्रीका में, वो 2 दिन का जो टेस्ट मैच था जहां पे द कंडीशंस वर really in the favor of the pace bowlers. लेकिन for me the most recent match जो मुकेश कुमार ने खेला था, he looked off, right? Of course उसके बाद रिलीज किया बंदे को, went to Bengal, played Ranji Trophy, took 10 wickets, उसको तुरंत वापस ला गया था. But I think like was it Sahil that said yesterday कि baseball की टीम वो मुकेश कुमार के लिए प्लानिंग कर रही होगी मोस्ट लाइकली यहाँ बैठे बैठे, तो मे बी जस्ट टू स्लाइटली डिसरप्ट बेसबॉल्स प्लान्स. सौम्या, मैं कहूंगा आकाशदीप को खिलाओ. जस्ट लाइक ये लोग क्या एक 19 साल के स्पिनर को लेके आए, एक 20 साल के, एक टॉम हार्टली 24 साल, barely play 20 और मैचेस फर्स्ट क्लास, तो एक थोड़ा एक सरप्राइज एलिमेंट होता है. तो आई वुड लाइक टू सी instead of Mukesh, I would like to see them go for Akashdeep. And look again, जो भी मुकेश खेले, आकाशदीप खेले, you're filling the shoes of Jasprit Bumrah. इतनी बार कह चुका हूं, this is one of the finest, the rarest Indian cricketers. मतलब हाँ, पिछले 7-8 साल में हमारा जो पेस बॉलिंग का जो लाइनअप है वो बहुत काफी डीप रह चुका है, बट जसप्रीत बुमराह इज लिटरली one of the rarest bowlers. So it's very unfortunate कि जो भी आएगा हम ऑटोमेटिकली उसको कंपेयर करेंगे, यार बुमराह ने वो किया था. Which just underlines my earlier point. What were they thinking from dropping the best bowler on either side of these two teams for the match which you could win? आप ये मैच जीत जाओ, धर्मशाला के बारे में सोचना नहीं है, उनको वहां रेस्ट दे दो. You know, I really hope that doesn't come back to bite India, यार. This shocking decision to rest. ऊपर से आपके वाइस कप्तान भी है. वो वाइस कप्तान को कौन बीच सीरीज बाहर करता है यार ब्रेक के नाम पे? मेरी समझ से बाहर है वो.
just one thing, I'll just want to add one thing. हमारे व्हाइट बॉल सीरीज के अंदर ना वाइस कैप्टन मार्क भी नहीं होता, तो वाइस कैप्टन का तो जो ये है ना लॉजिक, है तो हट चुका है इस इंडियन क्रिकेट से. राणे
को तो याद है वाइस कप्तान के साथ क्या होता है. राणे तो आज तक नहीं भूला. तो नो, आई वाज जस्ट मेंशनिंग हाउ बुमराह इज एक्चुअली इन द हेड ऑफ दीस प्लेयर्स. इंग्लैंड के प्रैक्टिस सेशन ऑन बोथ डेज, दे टुक अ न्यू बॉल, न्यू एसजी शाइनिंग बॉल, दे वेंट टू अ कंक्रीट वॉल ड्यूरिंग द प्रैक्टिस सेशन. 10 मिनट तक जो इनके कोचेस हैं वो बॉल को घिस रहे थे वहां पे एक साइड से, because that reverse is so much in their head after what Bumrah did in Vizag, that they're actually prepping with sidearm, with one side of the ball completely roughed up. That bowler was in their head. उसको आप अगर 8-8 ओवर भी डलवा देते ना 2 इनिंग के अंदर, उतने में ही काम हो जाता, क्योंकि वो एक व्हाट इफ ना, अरे अभी बुमराह आएगा, अभी बुमराह डालेगा, ये ओवर निकाल लेते हैं, बुमराह आएगा. He's in your head. Just keep playing with that mentality. No mind games. Who will teach them that cricket is also about mind games? मत डलवाओ उससे 20-20 ओवर, 8-10 ओवर ही डलवा देते, फील्डिंग भी किसी और से करा देते.
तो साहिल, if we go by this logic of bowling just 13 overs per innings, 13 से 15 ओवर एक प्लेयर डाल सकता है यार फास्ट बॉलर. दो
उतने ही डाल रहा है. वो 35 ओवर नहीं डाल रहा, उतने ही. ये हवा बना रहे हैं हम वर्कलोड का, मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको, ये हवा बना दिया हमने वर्कलोड का, और कुछ
मेरे हिसाब से बुमराह को रेस्ट करने का कोई सेंस ही नहीं था. इवन इन द
5 टेस्ट खेलने चाहिए,
5 टेस्ट खेलने चाहिए थे. बिल्कुल. जेमी लास्ट
ग्रेड ए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देता है या ग्रेड ए+ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देता है तो बोल दो हमें डिमोट कर दो, बिकॉज़ यू विल बी अवेलेबल unfit to play all games. You are a grade A+ contracted player. It comes with a lot of responsibility. It's an honor. 311 लोग टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेले हैं सिर्फ इंडिया के लिए, उसके अंदर आप एक को बिठा रहे हो एट योर विल एंड फैंसीज. मतलब आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. इट्स वेरी वियर्ड. It's very weird. It's not a T20 or a ODI. It's very weird.
Jimmy, quickly, last question to you. आपके स्पिन अटैक कौन सा क्या रहेगा? 3 स्पिनर्स अगर आपको पिक करने में.
India का same. There's absolutely no need to change that. Ashwin, Jadeja, Kuldeep, the best possible options. हाँ. अगर by chance, I mean we've discussed this, left field selection होगा, bold call रहेगा to not play a second pacer. If you're going down that road, फिर तो यार I mean 19-20 का फर्क है यार between हाँ exactly मुनी होगा. I'm just saying for the point of discussion, but yeah I mean absolutely कोई गुंजाइश नहीं है कि इन तीनों के आगे और कोई spinners के लिए यार. I mean yes they've not, especially Ashwin has not been at that top level which we expect him to be, but बीच में there was a personal emergency. He's got what 501 हो गए उनके, and I think given the fact that बहुत rare यार कि अश्विन के लेवल के बॉलर 3 टेस्ट मैच खेले हैं और अब तक that Ashwin spell hasn't come, so I've got a gut feeling इस बार अश्विन का बहुत बड़ा योगदान. He's a fantastic bowler and he's just got past that landmark. I'm willing to bet कि यार ये बंदा पूरी तरीके से भारी पड़ेगा इस बार बेसबॉल पे.
Yeah. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for joining me in this one. We'll catch again. Thanks. We can move on to comments, please. Sahil sir, news about the pitch. Many are saying it will be a ranked turner. We have talked about this. कुलदीप, थोड़ा सा पीछे जाएंगे लाइव में तो आपको डिटेल में इस डिस्कशन के बारे में सुनने को मिल जाएगा. Next one, please. Jasprit Bumrah bowling mechanics is very different from Cummins, Stark or Hazelwood. His frontal action causes excessive load on his back, and if injury comes, again we will criticize the team management. Bhavya is saying, Srini, what are your thoughts? You're on mute, yeah.
Nobody will criticize anyone, okay? You're talking about the most important match of a series, which, kind of... see, इसके बाद कोई cricket मत खेलो तुम. You don't have to play any cricket. You obviously will play the IPL, but that is outside of that, you don't need to play any cricket until when we go to Australia, okay? So pick and choose. I do understand where this particular person, Bhavya, is coming from. I do understand that Jasprit Bumrah is not one of your regular pacers. I do understand that biomechanics in his case are very different from that of a regular seamer, because of his action, everything. And we understood a lot of things about him over the years. That, however, does not change a simple fact that it banged in the middle of what exactly is a very important series, which was planned way too. It's not like last month you came to know that you're going to be playing 5 test matches, right? You knew this a year in advance. Where are your preparation levels? Where exactly are your preparation levels? The moment you had finished playing a World Cup, you and just stayed for these 5 test matches. So where exactly was the rocket science? See, I can understand if something randomly pops up and a player can't go beyond a certain point. But in case like this, this is just poor planning. I want somebody to come and give me a technical explanation. I've been speaking with people off the record, because there are people who can't come. लोग कहते हैं ना, अरे सर तो नाम बताइए, बोलिए कौन है. Obviously people have jobs to keep. Yeah, people have a lot of things, responsibilities. So people can't come and speak openly on many things. But that doesn't mean people don't talk. And I'm talking about people who understand what it takes at this level. Is KL Rahul unfit to play the test match? No, he is not. He's fit to play the test match. Okay. 90% and all, it is at the end of the day, this was a player's call, not the BCCI's call. Somebody should ask BCCI this question. Same for Jasprit Bumrah. Workload management आपने एक term define कर दिया है. On the basis of that, आपने उसको बिठा दिया है. As Jamie said, God forbid if you were to lose this test match. आप करते रहे ना फिर workload management. फिर क्या मतलब क्या है? It doesn't really make any sense. अगर आप स्ट्रेस उठाते भी हैं तो क्या करोगे? पहले की 5 मैच आप IPL के मिस करोगे, राइट? उससे ज्यादा क्या करोगे? ठीक है, बट एज आई सेड और या तो फिर अगर आपको आईपीएल इतना कंसर्निंग है तो आप टेस्ट सीरीज यहाँ शेड्यूल ही मत करो। आप नवंबर दिसंबर में शेड्यूल करो टेस्ट सीरीज, नहीं होता है तो अगले साल शेड्यूल करो। यू नो अंडरस्टैंड, आपका शेड्यूलिंग गलत है, फिर आप बोलते हो आईपीएल है, फिर इसीलिए आपको अपने नंबर 1 प्लेयर को बिठाना है, तो फिर सीरीज क्यों खेल रहे हो यार?
नहीं, बट श्रीनी, साहिल इज राइट ना, आपको ग्रेड A+ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मिला हुआ है। दिस कम्स विद द रिस्पांसिबिलिटी, यू विल हैव टू प्ले, यू विल हैव टू,
ऑब्वियसली ग्रेड ए रिस्पॉन्सिबल, ग्रेड ए ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, फॉरगेट ऑल दैट, ग्रेड ए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, रिस्पॉन्सिबल। अरे बॉयज, दिस इज इंडियन टीम, इट you can't make yourself available for India. What is the point of any other cricket? I don't understand. I am all for IPL. People tell me that Srini, what you kind of go out of your way to support IPL is. I just love it. It is India's biggest export to the world. And I love what Indian cricket and what the BCCI has created. I respect the amount of work that franchisees put in. I love tracking it. I love the economics of the league. It's entertainment all throughout those 2 months, and I'm a big fan. But that should not and cannot happen at the cost of Indian cricket, Baba. It is the Indian cricket team we're talking about. It is right up there. It's like this. Let me put it this way. Whatever you see about cricket in India and overall, we talk about how India runs world cricket and we are this and we are that, BCCI is this powerful, we are that powerful. Remember this one thing, it all revolves around these 12 and 15 men, the Indian cricket team. This is the juggernaut. It all revolves around this. Everything else is an added jazz. This is the piece of jaggery. This is the गुड़ का टुकड़ा जो कहते हैं ना, this is it, जिसके इर्द गिर्द चींटियां घूमती है. So never ever disrespect this. The day you begin to disrespect this, aju baju, it will take a beating all over. And I feel there are some things that I disagree with. I may or may not know 100% the reasons that go behind these decisions. I may not agree with them. I'm well within my right to not agree with some of these decisions, and I feel that things need to be corrected. I mean, I can't say anything more. It's unfortunate, but I seriously think things need to be corrected.
Yeah. Next one, please. Next one, please. Yeah. Should definitely play Rituraj Gaikwad in place of Rajat Patidar. He is healed and scored a 96 against services in Ranji as well. Just wasting talent, making them sit. No, sir. Arsh, that was the only inning that he played. 2 inning खेले उन्होंने services के against, and एकदम से उन्हें test team में नहीं डाल सकते. There are a lot of other players. Next one, please. Sahil bhai, would toss be very important on this pitch? If England win the toss without Bumrah playing, huge advantage to England.
Absolutely. I'm just fearing the fact that, God forbid, England win the toss tomorrow, decide to bat first. 30 overs, 200 for 2.
Yeah.
उड़ा देंगे वो.
अभी मैं वही सोच रहा था. वही मेरे दिमाग में आ रहा. टॉस जीत के पहला बैटिंग करे.
Srini, I'll like to get a comment from Taus bhai as well. Taus bhai, your views on this. If England wins the toss tomorrow,
हमारी कब्र बन जाएगी. हाँ, तो हमारी कब्र बन जाएगी.
क्या?
ताउस भाई बताओ दोबारा.
कब्र बन जाएगी हमारे. I mean, we'll be दफन कर देंगे. See, the problem here is कि यार हमने जो मैचेस जीते, लास्ट मैच भी देखेंगे, हमारे एडवांटेज में था कि हमने बैटिंग किया राज को. वो एडवांटेज अगर, क्योंकि इंडियन विकेट्स में 2-3 दिन बाद वो क्रैक्स पड़ने लगते हैं, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू फेस. Yesterday I was reading out the scorecard. India batted first in the last match against South Africa. 400 और 497 कुछ किए थे, और नेक्स्ट 2 इनिंग्स जो थी होल्ड आउट हो गए थे 190 119 ऐसा कुछ. साउथ अफ्रीका बैक टू बैक इनिंग्स में. सो आई मीन, झारखंड रांची में आपको बैटिंग कर, चाहे वो राजकोट हो, आप इंडिया में कहीं भी जाओ, बैटिंग फर्स्ट इज एन एडवांटेज. उसके बाद आपको कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला है.
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है आप तीनों से, स्टार्टिंग विद यू साहिल. अगर इंडिया यहाँ ट्रेल कर रहा होता, as the report suggests that it was pre-decided that Bumrah won't play this penultimate match, और इंडिया अगर ट्रेल कर रहा होता 1-2 या 2-0, तो भी क्या आप बुमराह को बैठा देते इस मैच?
अब जब ये रिपोर्ट्स आप बोल ही रहे हो, मैं एक रिपोर्ट आपको और बताऊं जो मर्मर्स चल रहे हैं.
Yeah.
Some section of people think that Rohit Sharma is going to be rested for the 5th test. तो अब आप उस पे क्या कहेंगे? तो मैं इसीलिए
पार्टिकल गया तो है उसके लिए.
मतलब मैं इसीलिए इतना I don't like kind of read too much into these reports. Shreyas Iyer is a classic example. Half an hour after it was reported that he has back spasms and injuries and whatnot, we clearly reported that he's dropped because of lack of runs. So even if you like I don't know, yaar. Matlab, how can you pre-decide that 4th test will be the only test where Bumrah will be rested? It cannot. हो ही नहीं सकता. ये convenient shot in the arm इनको तभी मिला when they were 2-1 up and they thought कि अरे इंग्लैंड को तो हम उड़ा देंगे. मैं तो चाहता हूँ ये हारे कल. मेरे को ट्रोल करो, देशद्रोही बोलो, कुछ भी बोलो. मैं तो चाहता हूँ हम कल हारे और धर्मशाला में 2-2 जाए. क्रैकिंग सीरीज फिनाले होना चाहिए और वहां पे फिर जसप्रीत बुमराह आके इनको मैच जितवाए और फिर इनको रिमाइंड करे कि कितना गलत था चौथे टेस्ट मैच में बिठाना. इंग्लैंड शुड विन रांची टेस्ट.
एक चीज साहिल, रोहित शर्मा को भी टेस्ट रेस्ट कर दो चलेगा, बट बुमराह के साथ आप गैम्बल नहीं कर सकते हो. रोहित शर्मा चल जाएगा.
सब खेलो.
एक ये बता रहा हूँ कि आप रोहित शर्मा को भी कर सकते हो एक हद तक. अब मगर दिस गाय बुमराह.
ओके ठीक है. सारे फैक्टर्स ले लिए मैंने. श्रीनी, मैं जब छोटा था हमारे को एक बात बोली जाती थी जब भी हम लोग डिस्कशन करते थे अपने पापा के साथ या किसी के साथ कि बॉस जो विनिंग कॉम्बिनेशन होता है ना वो कैप्टन तोड़ने तो नहीं तोड़ता है. जब वो विनिंग कॉम्बिनेशन किसी भी फॉर्मेट में बन जाए तो वो नहीं उसे खराब करना चाहिए. आज वही हो रहा है. जो मैच आपको जिता के दे रहा है आप उसी को तोड़ देते हो. आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस. व्हाट आर योर थॉट्स?
आप डिसीजन लो. ओके, मैं हमेशा से ये कहता हूँ कि आप एक डिसीजन लो. आप whatever, see that you got to respect that, you know, there are learned people around. जो लोग डिसीजन लेते हैं वो लोग भी, उनको तो उनसे ज्यादा क्रिकेट किसी ने ना खेला है ना समझता भी होगा. तो ये लोग कुछ डिसीजन लेते होंगे तो बिहाइंड द सीन्स ऑब्वियसली इनकी भी डिस्कशंस होती होगी. अब मेरा बड़ा प्रॉब्लम बीसीसीआई से हमेशा ये रहा है कि when you take a decision, why don't you share the clarity? Why don't you share the perspective when you're taking a certain call? So आप एक टर्म डाल देते हो वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट. अरे पापा, वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट बताओ, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज इट? प्लीज एक्सप्लेन. इज देयर समथिंग दैट वी आर फेलिंग टू अंडरस्टैंड? आप जब विराट कोहली का व्हेन ही वाज नॉट गोइंग टू प्ले द सीरीज, जब शुरुआत में जो प्रेस रिलीज आया था आपका, ओके, आपने वो प्रेस रिलीज लिखते वक्त वो डिक्शनरी खोल के बैठे थे आप. एम्पैथी, सिंपैथी, अंग्रेजी में जितने वर्ड थे आपने सारा कुछ उस वर्ड प्रेस रिलीज में डाल दिया. हर वर्ड डाल दिया आपने. वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. क्योंकि आपको मालूम था कारण जो है वो इतना क्लियर है कि लोगों को ये तो मौका है फ्रंट फुट पे आके क्रीज से बाहर आके बैटिंग करने का, तो आपने किया वो काम. अब यहाँ पे है कि आपको पता ही नहीं क्या हो रहा है. 90% फिट है. अरे भाई 90% मतलब क्या आपने टेप से मेजर किया है? मेरे समझ में नहीं आया. मैं हमेशा ये कह रहा हूँ, मैं कहता जाता हूँ, मतलब इट्स बिकम अ जोक. या इन द केस ऑफ बुमराह आप बोलते हैं वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट. एक टर्म, एक दो वर्ड आपने डाल दिया, फेंक दिया बाहर. अब आपकी डिक्शनरी कहाँ गई? अब वो डिक्शनरी लाओ. एंड मैं ये भी कहता हूँ, लेट मी ऐड अ बिट टू दिस, दैट as we were mentioning, we were talking about England. What if they were to bat first? I swear, boss, if they were to bat first and they are 380 odd for 2 at the end of day 1, ना आपको तब समझ में आएगा, तब खलेगा. हालांकि I wish and I sincerely hope and I pray that things obviously go in India's favor, but वो 380, that is when you will begin to understand what kind of a decision is this. And I don't understand. Coach Mr. Rahul Dravid sits in a press conference. He can be vocal enough when it is about an Ishan Kishan, is it? He can be pretty vocal enough when it's about Ishan Kishan. Play some cricket. I want to see them playing some cricket. Yeah, what was that exact comment? I forget it.
He has to play some cricket.
Yeah, he has to play. He has to. Yeah, so Mr. Rahul Dravid, you have a comment to make on Ishan Kishan. Why don't you sit and give me the mic and I'll ask you a few questions? Since you can afford to be so vocal, I have a couple of questions for you, my friend. And let's set the better. I know how he will, he's evaded basic questions. Yeah, he's evaded basic questions. Come and say the same thing about why KL Rahul was picked in South Africa and Ishan was snubbed. And what did you say at that time? Did you come and tell the media what happened? Did you come and tell the media what has happened behind the scenes? Why exactly there is a problem with Ishan? A lot of things never come out. I sit in front of the camera now and talk about what exactly is this workload management with Jasprit Bumrah, explain the whole grammar. But that doesn't happen. So, क्या बोलना चाहिए? I mean, and then you speak on बच्चा लोग.
Yeah. Okay, next comment, please. Okay, Nobat Tibet is saying, who controls BCCI? Is it IPL broadcaster or BCCI itself? Srini,
firstly, we should thank Nobat Tibet for the super chat and giving us $5. We are suddenly feeling rich.
Srini, I'll start with you.
Oh, what is the super chat? I didn't understand.
So basically, a viewer kind of pays us money for his or her comment to be flashed above. So Nomad Tibet paid us $5 for us to read out his or her comment.
Oh wow, this is really kind of him. I mean, oh nice, yeah. But I'm new to YouTube, so I still don't understand these concepts. Very, very nice. Yeah, was the question who controls BCCI?
Who controls BCCI?
Is it IPL broadcaster or BCCI? Like it's like I'll say it in a running BCCI. Running the BCCI is like riding a tiger. Okay. Only as long as you are sitting on top of the tiger will not eat you. The moment you unmount the tiger, you try to control the tiger will kill you. You get my point? So BCCI is like a tiger. Who is controlling the BCCI? The person who is sitting on top of the tiger. And that person keeps changing. But whoever at that given point is sitting on top of the tiger is controlling the tiger. The moment that person gets off the tiger will come back to kill him. You get my point? Now, since turn of the century, आप देखो टाइगर पे कौन बैठा है? जगमोहन दालमिया बैठे थे, शरद पवार बैठे थे, श्रीनिवासन बैठे थे, शशांक मनोहर बैठे थे, अब जो बैठे हैं वैसा. So they are the ones who control the BCCI.
आपने प्रेसिडेंट का नाम लिया, रॉजर बिनी,
सौरव गांगुली.
ताउस भाई, आप नोमैड तिब्बत में थोड़े पैसे खर्चे हैं, ओपिनियन सबका मिलेगा इनको. Well, thank you for this comment, though, Nomad Tibet. Yeah, Taus bhai.
I mean, Srini bhai gave the best answer. I mean, what else do you want? I mean, BCCI controls IPL. I mean, see, IPL is a part. It's a subcommittee. Agar technically jaye,
I'll also tell you what is IPL and BCCI. If you want a relation between the two, I'll also say this. Like they are like conjoined twins now. वो जुड़वे बच्चे जो पैदा होते हैं ना, एक दूसरे से चिपक के पैदा होते हैं, right? BCCI and IPL today are like conjoined twins. They can't do with each other, and they cannot not do with each other without each other. एक दूसरे के साथ न रह सकते और बिना रह भी जी नहीं सकते, kind of.
Tom and Jerry. Yeah, Taus bhai.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, see, IPL is the biggest product and it has made BCCI bigger, and you cannot ignore it. I mean, ठीक है, India, BCCI runs India, Indian team India, Ranji Trophy, but BCCI also runs IPL. तो आप वो इक्वेशन समझो, आपको IPL भी इट्स द बिगेस्ट लीग इन द वर्ल्ड, इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट होता है, बट देन IPL को आप सडनली बोलोगे कि यार IPL को प्रेफरेंस नहीं देना चाहिए, आप इसको साइड लाइन करो, आप इतना भाव की दे रहे हो, व्हाई द प्लेयर्स आर गिविंग. I mean, there is a thing. I mean, it's IPL is because of the players are because of the IPL, and IPL is because of the BCCI. So it's a cycle. So एक दूसरे के ऊपर डिपेंड है यहाँ पर, और BCCI is the head. But then BCCI IPL franchise के लिए भी, I mean, franchise की तरफ से भी चलता है. So everybody has a say. थोड़ा सबके पास है. But then the person who takes the call, I mean, the person who writes, but then he also has to get down when the franchise come and demand something or the other, because उन्होंने भी invest किया है business wise. So everybody is heard over here, but then at the end, Srinivas, something.
I also don't tend to agree with this comment that IPL को बाजू करो, IPL को हटाओ. I've heard this not just in terms of fans and people on Twitter or on YouTube and all. In my workspace, over the years in the work that I do in when where people who work with me who are involved and were part of the same sports media industry, there were people there. There are people there also जो बोलते हैं IPL तो कचरा है. It is कचरा cricket, pajama cricket, circus है, ये है, वो है, हटाओ. My point is, the numbers can't lie. The numbers cannot lie. If there is 48,000 crore, if the broadcasters are ready to put 48,000 crore, वो क्या आपको क्या लग रहा है वो बेवकूफ हैं? पैसे झाड़ पे उगते हैं. वो पैसा वहां लगाया जा रहा है because it is being consumed. Only if there is a demand will there be a supply or vice versa. Only if there is supply, enough supply, will there be a demand getting created. Right? It's the basic law of economics, demand versus supply. And if IPL has the kind of demand that it has, then so be it. You can't wish it away. It's there and you can't wish it away. The only thing is, how do you respect everything around it? That's the only question. There's no question of, लोग जो IPL को गाली मारते हैं, please don't. It's an important property.
Yeah. Next one, please. How many workload leaves did Mr. Coach Dravid take in his playing days? He batted and batted for hours and days, but never took rest. Vyan Singh. Sahil, this makes sense, a lot of sense.
A lot of it makes sense what happened in the past, but what is happening in the present doesn't make sense and just doesn't add up. The numbers don't add up. They just don't add up. I can't wrap my head around it. I still can't. मैं numbers लिखता रहा, ढूंढता रहा, table बनाता रहा, calculator लेके बैठा हुआ था. I was calculating balls he's bowling per day since he has come back from that Ireland series. Ireland series में खेले, एशिया कप में टीम ने 6 मैच खेले, इन्होंने 3 खेले थे क्योंकि एक में बॉलिंग नहीं आई बारिश के चलते और 2 में इनको रेस्ट मिल गया था. तो वर्कलोड तो अच्छे से मैनेज हो रहा था यार. इन्हीं 5 टेस्ट के लिए हो रहा था ना. अब क्या बोले, अब राहुल भाई के बारे में क्या ही बोले, समझ ही नहीं आ रही है.
Okay, next one, please. I may get hate, but Rahul Dravid has shown absolutely partiality to pigeonhole some players in team. If not opener, then middle order. If not middle order, then keeper, and not to mention the sky blender. Taus bhai. I guess Ashutosh is talking about the test team.
इसमें क्या बोले, पार्शियलिटी यू कैन नॉट से इट डायरेक्टली ना. तो आपको मतलब देखिए, राहुल द्रविड़ हैज बीन फंक्शनिंग लाइक हाउ ही हैज बीन ओवर द पास्ट. आई मीन ही इज वेरी वो सीधा लाइन पर लकीर के फकीर बोलते हैं ना, दैट इज द परफेक्ट लाइन. वो उसके आगे जाते नहीं है. ही इज द लकीर के फकीर. आई मीन व्हाटएवर इज अवेलेबल ही विल गो बाय द सीनियरिटी. और अगर कल आकाशदीप जैसे आया, so I will be surprised. I mean, although I want him right now, but then that will be something out of the box decision. So if you expect Rahul Dravid to come and make decisions that is erratic, wayward, वो expect मत करो. So he'll go by rules, he'll follow a certain process. Partiality आपको नहीं बोल सकते, डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट कहीं पर होगी, कहीं पर नाम नहीं ले सकते डायरेक्टली राइट नाउ. So yeah, I mean there are likings and dislikings for players. I would agree with that. आप for example हमने वाउच किया था ध्रुव जुरेल के लिए काफी टाइम से, मगर केएस भरत की तरफ स्टिक हुए किए राहुल द्रविड़ ने, बट देन उनका अलग रीजनिंग होगा. सो देयर आर रीजनिंग्स एट डिफरेंट टाइम, डिफरेंट कंडीशन, डिफरेंट सिचुएशन. तो राहुल गोज अबाउट दैट. पार्शियलिटी, लाइकिंग डिसलाइकिंग का तो आपका भी होता है, मेरा भी होता है, सौम्या, शेनी भाई और साहिल का भी होता है. तो आई मीन partiality में direct name you cannot name anybody, right?
Yeah. Okay. We'll take last 3 comments, please. Next one. Sports fan, do you see BCCI heading by Ranji Trophy dictator? It is just lip service. Sahil, what are your thoughts? I guess he's talking about.
I know what he's talking about. I know what sports fan is talking about, but I don't understand the timing of the move. BCCI secretary was very, very stern in his warning ultimatum. But it came right before the last round of Ranji Trophy. Season खत्म हो गया था. 6 games were done. Why were we a spectator when Ishan Kishan wasn't available for the first 5 games? Where were we? Were we keeping a track of Deepak Chahar back then? Were we keeping a track of Mukesh Chaudhary, Simarjeet Singh, the players who casually turn up in the IPL? Suyesh Sharma hasn't played any red ball cricket for Delhi, either age group cricket or Ranji Trophy. Where were we then? Why did it take so long to kind of act in that direction? And when the action came, the season was over. Right now 8 teams are participating in the quarterfinals. It doesn't really matter what you have issued as an ultimatum now. It's just that the sample size has already shrunk. And quarterfinals अपने आप में एक ऐसा स्टेज होता है कि आपको जो प्लेयर्स पहले नहीं दिखे थे अब एक्चुअली शायद दिखेंगे. Exceptions are like Shreyas Iyer are always there.
उन 8 टीमों में अगर आप 8 टीमों का स्क्वाड उठा के देखोगे तो वो पिछले 5 साल से वो सारे प्लेयर सारे मैच खेल रहे.
हाँ तो करेक्ट, उसमें तो ऐसा कोई फाइट ही नहीं था ना.
कुछ फाइट नहीं है.
अल्टीमेटम आना था, ईमेल जाना था, वार्निंग जानी थी, स्टर्न अल्टीमेटम जाना था. इट शुड हैव हैपेंड बिफोर एंड इट शुड हैव हैपेंड एट द मीटिंग व्हिच इज चेयर्ड बाय बीसीसीआई टेक्निकल कमिटी, जहां पे डिसाइड होता है कि रणजी ट्रॉफी आप जाड़े में ठंड में करा रहे हो नॉर्थ इंडिया के अंदर, वो तभी स्क्रैप कर देना चाहिए था. आपको सीजन शुरू ही रणजी ट्रॉफी का करना चाहिए था. उसके लिए हमने एक बहुत बड़ा शो किया था फीचरिंग फॉर्मर क्रिकेटर्स एंड बीसीसीआई एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स. इफ वी ऑल हैव नॉट सीन इट येट, प्लीज गो टू आवर YouTube पेज एंड यू विल सी द लिंक वेयर वी हैव मेड सम वेरी वैलिड सजेशंस विद रिगार्ड्स टू द रणजी ट्रॉफी ओवरऑल. मनोज तिवारी ने जो परसों तरसों एक एक्सप्लोसिव इंटरव्यू में कहा है, हम 1.5 महीना पहले कह चुके थे कि क्या जरूरी है हेल्थ ऑफ रणजी ट्रॉफी को लाइव रखने के लिए.
या ओके, नेक्स्ट वन प्लीज. Sahil sir, don't you think we should groom someone like Arshdeep, Khalil, Karthik Tyagi by sending them on 8 overs, considering lack of quality pace, bench strength, and Australia tour coming up?
Bhavya, I think we need to keep track of how much first class cricket they are playing. Karthik Tyagi did not want to play any first class cricket. I don't even think he has played any first class cricket in this season for UP. Yeah. Arshdeep just played a couple of games, if I'm not wrong. This was probably Khalil's first season where he played more than a couple of games. ये 3 इंटरेस्टेड नहीं थे लाल बॉल खेलने के लिए. Arshdeep went to play county cricket last season. That came after some conviction from Rahul Dravid, which I heard. But Khalil and Karthik haven't shown interest to play red ball cricket. They're happy playing the IPL. They're happy playing UP T20 and the Rajasthan Premier League, which happens. Players are happy doing what they are. Why? Who are we to push them into red ball format? Just pick players who really want to play red ball cricket. Because not everyone is cut out for red ball cricket.
Not mocking anyone, but I have जिनकी ये बात कर रहे हैं उनमें से कुछ प्लेयर्स ने बहुत कन्वीनियंटली बोले कि यार उस टूर्नामेंट से पहले तो आई गॉट इंजर्ड एवरी टाइम. 22 साल में हर साल इंजर्ड थोड़ी हो रहे हो.
वही कन्वीनियंस अब एक्सपोज हो रहा है. I can give you numerous state associations जहां पे प्लेयर्स आके रैंडमली राहुल द्रविड़ और वीवीएस लक्ष्मण का नाम ले देते हैं कि लक्ष्मण सर ने हमें कहा है रेस्ट ले लो, द्रविड़ सर ने कहा है आप 6 नंबर पे बैटिंग करो. ऐसा बहुत कन्वीनियंट स्टेटमेंट्स चल रहा है. इसीलिए स्ट्रीमलाइनिंग बहुत जरूरी है.
Yeah. Okay, last one, please. Your final predictions, guys. 3-1 or 2-2? Srini, I'll start with you quickly.
2-2. Obviously, I'll want it 3-1. Prediction तो पता नहीं. All wanted to be 3-1, यार.
Always they must lose. धर्मशाला बोरिंग नहीं होगा.
धर्मशाला नहीं जीत सकते. धर्मशाला नहीं जीत सकते.
नहीं, I mean, I'll never. नहीं यार, हमारी टीम है वो तो मैं चाहूंगा तो वो जीतना ही ये चाहूंगा. हाँ, वो तुमको क्या लगता है कि हारेंगे तो क्या अपनी गलतियों से बाहर आ जाएंगे?
I just want them to go with 3-1 to धर्मशाला. वो मोमेंटम चाहिए. More than anything, मोमेंटम चाहिए. That was very quickly your prediction.
अभी मैच सीरीज है ना, तो 3-1 क्यों बोल रहे हैं हम लोग?
No, इस मैच, this game, after this game.
नहीं तो ओवर. अच्छा, गोइंग इनटू द गेम की ओवरऑल.
गोइंग इनटू द धर्मशाला गेम क्या प्रेडिक्शन रहेगी?
3-1 यार, और मैं एंड में 4-1 बोलूंगा.
4-1 तो हम बोल रहे हैं. 3-1 करना जरूरी है. I just believe that. 2-2.
कल 2-2 फिर धर्मशाला 3-2.
हाँ, तो 3-2 तो होगा ही ना भाई. अगर सीरीज जीतना है किसी को एक को तो
ये 3 इंडिया की तरफ है ना, बिकॉज़ लेफ्ट इज ऑलवेज राइट.
अरे अगर 2-2 हुआ तो फिर वो 3-2 ही होगा. वो किसकी तरफ से होगा वो नहीं पता.
नहीं, वही मैंने बोला, 2-2 रह सकता, बिकॉज़ लेफ्ट इज ऑलवेज राइट.
अच्छा, इंडिया में मतलब हमने ड्रॉ बिल्कुल ही आउट ऑफ इक्वेशन कर दिया है.
ड्रॉ इस टीम के साथ, इंग्लैंड की टीम के साथ नहीं हो सकता यार. इंडिया छोड़ो, इंग्लैंड ड्रॉ के लिए जाएगा ही नहीं. 4 दिन में बोर होके खुद हार जाएंगे, पर वो ड्रॉ के लिए नहीं जाएंगे.
चलिए, वाला जैसा है, मैं आपकी तरफ हूँ. ये कैसा आपकी तरफ है? ऊपर की
मैं भी आपकी तरफ. मैं लॉजिकल हूँ क्योंकि मोमेंट अगर धर्मशाला जाना है तो मोमेंटम के साथ जाना पड़ेगा भाई. 2-2 करके नहीं जा सकते धर्मशाला.
वाला जोक, मैं आपकी तरफ हूँ.
Well, we just hope all goes well in absence of Jasprit Bumrah, who is totally fit but has been rested from this game. Well, thank you gentlemen for joining me in this one. दोबारा जोड़ेंगे, दोबारा बात करेंगे. Bye bye. Good night, शबा खैर.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।